Hey, it's Jeremy here from Lad SEO. In this video, I'm walking through a quick audit of buycasters.com to see what keywords and phrases they're ranking for, what they can improve on, and then looking at some exact AI prompts that you can use to give you the strategy that should be implemented on your website to help you rank better as well. And this strategy, as I've mentioned before, works extremely well, whether you have a brand new website. You can see the traffic here growing from basically nothing at the start of 2025 to now getting 3,500 visitors to the site each month, and also works with larger brands here. You can see significant growth in AI rankings, as well as organic keywords ranking and organic traffic rankings. So that being said, let's look at buycasters.com to see what they're doing, some keywords they should rank for, and what could be done to help them. So first is in Ahrefs here, if we look at their keyword data, and I have this sorted by search volume per month, we can look at something like heavy duty casters. So this is very likely a primary target audience for them, a primary target keyword. 2,700 people search this every month. They're ranking currently at 41, so getting no traffic from this key phrase. Now, as a quick side note, if we look at this keyword and we look at all keyword opportunities that contain heavy duty casters, we now have 439 keyword opportunities here. 11,000 searches per month, 17,000 global searches. And this keyword report right here is one of the main reasons why you need extra content on your site or on your given page to help you optimize for and rank for all of these additional opportunities. Because if you do not have this content on your site, it's going to be much more difficult for you to rank, and in some cases impossible, especially if there's any competition for this. And then also, as I've mentioned before, if you look at this question area here, now this is probably because heavy duty casters is a relatively specific search term. There's not a lot of questions shown up here, but what you can do is look at the people also ask section in search. So if you just type your keyword into a Google search, heavy duty casters here, you can scroll down, and in some results, you'll see people also ask questions. But in other cases, you'll see find related products and services. So these are also keyword opportunities to rank for if you don't have a keyword research tool or in addition to a keyword research tool. And then you have things to know. So problems, retailers, types, weight capacity, choosing fasters. And then as you scroll down here, you get to this people also ask section. Now, this is where you can generate a list of questions to add to your content, especially if they make sense. And you probably also have questions from your customers already about some of these things as well. Now, a quick tip here is if you are looking to get additional answers here, as you start to open these, new answers also appear. As you can see here now, it looks like we have 10, 9. And so as you, again, open and close this, new ones appear at the bottom here. Open and close, you keep getting new ones. So then you can get a very large list of questions that people are also already asking to get this content on your site and mark it up with structured data, add it to the product page that it's relevant to, and then you can also rank in AI with this as well. Now, as we look back at heavy duty casters here, let's look at who's ranking, and then I will show you an exact prompt and strategy that you can use to get an idea about what should be done to improve your page and compare to one of the top ranking sites. So if we look here, we have casterspecialist.com ranking at number 1 for the key phrase heavy duty casters. And if we look down at number 41 here, we have buycasters.com. Now there is a slight DR gap, and DR, if you're unsure what that means, DR is domain rating. This is on a 0 to 100 scale metric and essentially measures how strong a website is. And you can see here, Caster Specialist is 19, but we have Caster Concepts at 40. So actually on page 1, the lowest DR is ranking number 1. Now, there are a number of reasons why this could be happening. Number 1 is DR is not an official ranking metric and does not guarantee you're going to rank higher if you have a higher DR. Secondly, could be other links pointing to their page or to their site itself that are not shown here. It looks like they actually have some of the fewest referring domains to this page as well. So there could be something else going on behind the scenes. It could be a number of other factors that search engines also look at for rankings, whether it be user experience, click-through rate, expected results on the page, things like that. So lots of reasons that could be impacting the ability for them to rank number one here and get all of these additional visitors and potentially buyers to their specific page here. But what I want to show you is a couple differences, just a quick visual difference here. If you look at Caster Specialist site here, and you can see very quickly that it looks relatively new, updated website. It's on Shopify, modern design here. And you can see a brief info overview, content, product grid here. And as you get to the bottom, there's no additional content. So this is a gap they could actually work on to probably capture more traffic as well. But then if you look at buycasters.com, they do have information here. Now it is optimized a little bit differently, which I'll get to in a second. And then they have all of these options here for products and then no additional content here as well. Now, as I mentioned, from an optimization perspective, if you look here at the website, you can see they're optimized for extra heavy duty casters, or I should say extra heavy duty casters. And if you look at caster specialists, they are optimized for casters to 1,250 pound capacity. But the title on their website actually is different here as well. If you look at the SEO title is the same thing, casters to 1,250 pound capacity. Now, for the other thing that you have to think about as you are, and you probably know this in your market better than I do at this point, is search can understand different meanings of keywords or phrases. So for example, if a caster at 1,250 pounds is deemed to be considered as heavy duty, then search can understand that that is what that means as well. Now, I always recommend having the keyword or phrase that you want to rank for in the title and in the content and in the important items or sections on the website. Like here, if we look at this section, this is an H1. So I would highly recommend having the keyword you want to rank for in this section within the H1 on your website. And the reason for that is H1 is generally going to be the most important keyword or phrase or topic of a page that you want search to understand. That's what this page is about. And if you look here again at by casters, theirs is extra heavy duty casters. So the very small difference here, they do have extra in here, and they surprisingly have heavy duty casters. And it looks like Caster Specialists does not even have that in there, yet they rank number one for it. So that is interesting. So next thing to do then is, first of all, if you're just confused about why they're ranking better, like I said, there are other things potentially going on that are impacting their ability to rank. It could also be site speed or any other technical items on the website. But if we are just looking at this from a pure SEO perspective, what I do sometimes is I create the prompt in Grok and then use that prompt in GPT to get some ideas as to what all is going on with these website pages, what's different between them. And as a quick example here, quick reference, I run this a very brief prompt here. I want to have AI compare two URLs to give me ideas about why one is not ranking for a keyword. What is the super detailed prompt I can use? So I'm asking AI to create a prompt to give me so that I can use that to get more information. And it says here in Grok, here's a super detailed prompt. And this, as you can see throughout, I won't read this whole thing to you. I will just scroll through, but you can see it. It starts, you're an expert SEO analyst with over 10 years experience in search engine optimization, and gives you then the input, the keyword, the two URLs we want to compare. We want to look at the content. We want to look at keyword optimization breakdown, on page and quality reference. So eat and double eat, technical SEO audit, which some of these are not able to be done with ChatGPT without additional add-ins and things like that. But even still, getting high level details or high level data from ChatGPT or Grok and getting this information gives you a huge starting point on how to better optimize a page. Off-page and authority factors, user intent and SERP analysis. And SERP, if you're unfamiliar, is search engine results page. Output structure. And then, so then you can just copy this whole thing, change the inputs here, like I mentioned, with keyword and the URLs, and then paste that into ChatGPT. Generally, I get a better output in GPT from these prompts. But the interesting thing is, you may be asking, why use Grok to build a prompt when you can do the same thing in GPT? And I did this same thing in ChatGPT just to compare, and I wanted to show you. So I did that exact same question, and it gave me this prompt. And it's pretty similar in some cases, but it's not as detailed and it's not as specific with some of the elements we want to output. So what I did then was take the prompt from Grok here and add it to GPT. And the styling didn't carry over, so it looks a little bit messy here, but the output is the same, or the output is still high quality. So if I look at this prompt here, and again, just to confirm, what I've done is in these inputs here, target keyword, I added heavy duty casters. And if we look at the URL A is high ranking competitor. So this is caster specialists URL here. And I even kept all these examples in here too. You don't need to clean all this up. It'll still understand what's going on. And then URL B was the buy casters page result. That is the heavy duty casters and wheels, which is this one, this page. And what we're doing is wanting to compare why is caster specialist ranking higher than buy casters for the key phrase heavy duty casters. So then all the rest of this prompt is one I showed you in Grok. Paste this in here. And also, as I mentioned, you can see I did not even include all of these sections that should be updated, and it still output an extremely detailed output for us. So executive summary, URL B, so this is buycasters.com is URL B, is misaligned with the query's intent and how modern category pages win. Your page, URL B, this is saying my page because I ran this prompt, is actually an extra heavy duty hub up to 6,000 pounds per caster, even though the slug reads heavy duty casters and wheels. So Google likely treats it as too niche or too extreme for the broader heavy duty casters query, typically about 500 to 2,000 pounds. Now this goes back to what I said earlier. Search and AI especially can understand and read through what you're talking about, especially in specific or technical cases. Again, if something like 2,000 pound or 500 pound means extra heavy duty, it can understand that. So we have to make sure that as we're optimizing pages or sites, that we're including information that's relevant as well. And then you can see here, meanwhile, URL A is a filterable collection that directly covers the 350 to 1,250 pound band, surfaces a heavy duty facet, and exudes trust. ANSI testing, or ANSI, 60 plus years, CAD models, which maps better to shopper intent. Add in likely thin structured data, weaker faceted UX, and cannibalization from other pages also targeting heavy duty, and you've got the current ranking gap. Now, we can also look at structured data test, and if I was working on this project, I would look at that in detail, as well as UX elements. Not really my specialty, but we can get an idea as to how well set up it is from a UX perspective, which is user experience perspective. And it looks like they could probably use an updated design, at least in some capacity here. If you just look at the difference here between these two, this site just looks a little bit more freshly designed, and it was likely redone more recently than buycasters.com. So back to here, fetch and summarize what each page actually is. So this is looking at a Shopify Collection Hub page on caster specialists. And this for URL B for buycasters is positioning, again, for extra heavy duty, like it says here. Now here's where it starts to get pretty interesting in comparing the pages for us and looking at exactly what is going on. Title tag. So again, this is where ChatGPT or AI kind of falls short in some cases without additional prompting or without additional add-ins or customizations into AI here. So this gives us some idea for how to best optimize this page title though. Heavy duty casters up to 1,250 pounds would be a great title to use based on the definition of what a heavy duty caster is, according to AI here at least. And then H1, same thing here. It shows us the data, shows a mismatch, and so on. I'm not going to read through every single one of these, but you can pause the video and look at this if this is interesting to you. And then cannibalization, URL B versus other buycasters pages. Multiple pages also target heavy duty casters. So we have heavy duty casters with polyurethane tread wheels. I don't know that word, phenolic, ductile, dual wheel, creating overlapping signals without a clear primary heavy duty hub. This likely splits equity and confuses Google on which URL to rank for the head term. Now, what that means basically, and what keyword cannibalization is when you are attempting to rank multiple pages on your site for the same or very closely related keyword or phrase. And what this does is causes confusion because a search engine is not sure which page would be best for your site to rank for that given keyword. So sometimes what happens is it ranks none of them for you. And the other things to look at then here would be just data or ideas for how to best structure this for you. And one idea here is to create two distinct hubs. So create a heavy duty casters hub and an extra heavy duty casters hub. And then again, make sure they are optimized correctly. Semantics to add in naturally, industrial, kingpinless, top plate, polyurethane, phenolic, I think that's how to pronounce that, toe line, AGV, floor protection, ergonomic push force, and so on. And then on-page content quality and relevance. So EAT or double EAT is what Google supposedly looks at to determine how much of an authority and how well you or your website can understand and produce content about a given topic. And this was released with Google algorithm updates talking about EEAT stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Basically, again, how well you are equipped to produce or publish information about what you're talking about. And then depth and intent of coverage, UX and readability, and then engagement add-ons. And like I mentioned in multiple videos and multiple times, adding FAQ sections is almost always going to be beneficial for you because you are proving that you understand a question a potential customer may have, and it makes it easier for you to rank in AI. And then technical SEO, looking at all of these different items here as well. This is just a very high level view of this. Off-page and authority signals. This is estimates here without using a more detailed tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush or looking at link data. It's difficult for ChatGPT or AI to give us that data. And then user intent is something that I've talked about before as well. We want to make sure that the page type we're ranking for and the keyword that page is mapped for matches. And again, if we have an informational type query or keyword, we want that to go to an informational type page. And then detailed comparison table here with all of those different items. And then a prioritized action plan. So if you are planning to do this yourself, here is an exact list of what you could do or what you could work on implementing on this page to better optimize it. Now, as I've said before, the risks you have when doing this and doing it this way is making sure that if you are going to change optimization or change a page, that you make sure to optimize a given page for a given keyword. You don't need to have 5 pages optimized for heavy duty casters. And monitoring tips, this is just general stuff, looking at Google Search Console, rank tracking, Core Web Vitals, things like that. Then we have a quick summary overview here of why URL A likely outranks. It better matches load band intent for heavy duty, surfaces filters and trust, and sits inside a strong internal network, while URL B is really extra heavy and cannibalized by other heavy duty pages. So very quick high level view here. And GPT gives us a confidence score, 8 out of 10, that making all of these changes to this page will move the needle. So if you are wondering about what goes into an SEO project and how to best optimize it, this is something that when you're doing SEO the right way, you would look at this on a page by page basis to see what needs to be done, what competitors are doing, what sites are currently ranking, and how your site should be improved with all of these different elements so that you can best rank for the keywords and phrases that make the most sense for you. So hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I plan to continue posting more videos like this, talking about SEO strategies and updates on what can be implemented to help you rank better, get more traffic, and generate more revenue. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.